Welcome into game night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at regionsports.com, facebook.com/regionsports, and youtube.com/regionsports. We come to you tonight from Morgan Township High School as Morris Motor Service presents the Washington Township Senators taking on the Boone Grove Wolves in the opening round of the PCC Girls Basketball Tournament. Michael Brenner back here along with the mayor of the PCC, Matt Welsand.
Got no votes for that, so that's up in the air.
That is my declaration to you to be the you are the mayor of the PCC. And then we got Mike Jamia in the house as well, pulling it three-man broadcast booth tonight for the PCC Tournament, one of the best weeks of the year. As we mentioned earlier, we saw South Central get to advance in the tournament. Now one of these two teams is going to move on. Washington Township, obviously a team very favored in this tournament at 14-5 in the season. Then you look at the Boone Grove Wolves, they're 6-11. You're thinking, not a great record, but hold on a minute. They were 0-10 to start the year. They're on a 5-game win streak coming into this tournament, and they have won 6 of the last 7. So hold on a minute. Things might get a little interesting here in the tournament.
Yeah, they're finding their stride at the right time of the year. JC Menard, she's the Boone Grove's life force. Leading points, 11.5 points a game is her average, 5.5 rebounds. She gets into the passing lanes, it gets 2.2 steals a game and averages just over a block a game. So her stat line for the Lady Wolves is right there. So
we are tuned into the Jody Geisha Real Estate and Design pregame show here on the Region Sports Network, brought to you by Jody Geisha and Design, selling points for a winning game.
Yeah, J.C. Menard, like you mentioned, she's been filling up the stat sheet all season long, the 6'2 senior. But, Boone Grove's going to definitely have their hands full with the Senators, and this one, we'll see. We'll get a look at a senior as well, and that's Josie Wickham.
Yes, Josie's averaging 3.5 points a game, and she leads the team in rebounds, getting 6 on average. Washington Township has Claire Klinger, who is second for scoring for not just Washington, but the Porter County Conference as a whole. She's averaged 15.8 points per game, and her stat line is just outstanding. 5.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 3.5 steals per game. So when you have 3 girls for Washington Township that average just about 15 points per game, that's hard to stop.
And Washington Township on a 4-game winning streak coming into this one
Yes.
as well. So someone's winning streak is coming to an end here tonight in this opening round of the PCC Tournament. We're just moments away from the start or the tip of this one. And then you got one guy I want to spotlight here is Doug Gottbold for Washington Township. 96 wins in his career, so he's closing in on that century mark in terms of wins, and 8 years overall as a head coach. He spent time at Hebron from 14 to 19. Impressive to still get that many wins. First of all, not many coaches get to have that kind of an illustrious career, so he's closing in on that. I don't know if it'll happen by the end of this tournament, but certainly in the very, very near future.
Yeah,
for
he's got a couple after this tourney and then into sectionals, so
yes,
could happen within the next couple of weeks for him.
Washington Township was able to beat Boone Grove earlier in the season. That was back in December that these two teams matched up, and it was a big win.
We were there.
That's right, we were, and that was a big win for Washington Township. So
that's when Claire Klinger went off with 7 threes in that game, so might want to close out on her this evening.
We saw Hope Welsh having a good night from beyond the arc, so keep an eye on Claire Klinger. She wears number 3 for the Washington Township Senators. Not to spoil or anything, she's probably in that starting lineup today.
Yeah, Claire Klinger, an outstanding shooter, an outstanding scorer. One of those where, like you guys mentioned, these two teams met in December, so we'll see what's different from then to now. Now we are in the PCC tournament, and these games, they really don't get much more special than these. This is arguably the best in-season tournament in the state, and it's an incredible atmosphere, and stars tend to shine a little bit brighter under these lights in these circumstances. So we'll see how Claire Klinger does again this time against the Boone Grove Wolves.
And Nathan Laird just seems to be in a little bit more of an upbeat attitude for this PCC tournament. Not that he's not he's usually upbeat, but even more upbeat than he usually is for this PCC tournament. So that's always fun from our perspective. All right.
He's excited about these starting lineups is what he is.
All right,
Yeah,
we're going to get those as they're making some announcements here. We'll start with the Washington Township Senators, I believe.
Yes.
So the visitors on the scoreboard.
Visitors.
And we'll give you our officials here in just a little bit as well. A phenomenal crew for this game tonight.
We were talking about the PCC as a whole. They have the 4th best record in a state. They are 60-34. So this tournament is going to be something special. Whoever gets to win this one.
That is a phenomenal stat that you came
Isn't
out with.
it?
I like it.
Yes.
Good.
Anything's on the internet.
And I bet that the 3 conferences that have better records than the PCC, I bet none of them have an in-season tournament, let alone one of this magnitude.
I agree with you. All right, take a look at the lineup for the Senators. Number 1, J.C. Jackson out onto the floor, along with number 3, Claire Klinger. Number 10, Josie Whitcomb. Number 15, Addie Graff. And then 33, Brooklyn Campbell. So they have made their way out to the floor. And now we'll take a look at the Boone Grove Wolves. First on the floor, number 4, J.C. Menard. Number 10, Lauren Jeffries. Number 12, Drew Jeffries. Number 14, Mercedes Zakis. And number 25, Chase Durr. Those are your starting lineups for both squads here this evening. Our officials tonight, Jeff Nix, Jeff Rohde, and Kim Yelich, all of which have officiated state championship games in our great state of Indiana. I had the pleasure of actually, when we were down for the Crown Point Girls State Championship, Jeff Rohde, who has the basketball in his hand right now, was honored as the official of the year back at that time. Outstanding individual, along with Nix and Yelich as well, as Washington Township will start with the basketball. Trying to drive inside, a lot of pressure there, and much like we saw with South Central, little start here for Boone Grove, right to the window after the steal. That was Drew Jeffries with the start.
Lauren Jeffries, way to corral the ball after it was poked loose and pass it all in one motion to get the 2 points on the board for the Boone Grove Wolves to start this one.
So far, really tough defense from the Wolves. Senators having a hard time kind of getting around this. Very aggressive to start. Passing back out here. 3-ball attempt is good from the far corner. J.C. Jackson.
You have to close out on everyone on that Senators lineup. That's the hardest part defensively here for Boone Grove.
Yeah, good ball movement by the Senators to get an inside-out 3 opportunity in the right corner for them, and they capitalized on it.
Yep.
That was very impressive on that way down the floor that time. I agree with you. Zakis hands off to Dewar. And this one going to be thrown out of bounds. Sometimes when there's a little too much passing, it can get a little errant.
Yeah, good job by Washington Township keeping their opponent in front of them and not allowing the Boone Grove Wolves to drive past them and forcing them to make those passes over the defender.
Going out for another 3 attempt. This time,
got Addie Graff in action.
Addie Graff. So back-to-back triples, and it's a 6-2 game just like that. Cross-court pass. Picked up by Zakis. She'll feed it out to Jeffries, now to Dewar. I feel like they're just trying to find something inside there. That's what they're looking for. This one going to be picked off. And we got a timeout taken by Washington Township right off the bat here.
That's interesting calling a timeout there, but
Yeah, when you had an opportunity to go for a
To go
transition
for it, but
bucket, yeah.
Looks like Coach Godbolt wants to talk the defensive end a little bit.
I don't think we are in any position to judge because none of us have 96 wins in our head coaching career.
Not yet. We still have time.
Although we have – that's true. We still could, get 96 over the course of our lifetimes. That's going to come from somebody other than me.
Oh, no. If I'm coaching, you're going to be an assistant.
I'm in trouble. Or you're in trouble, I should say. That team's in trouble. Nathan Laird has a pretty good record as a coach, though. It's just a whole different –
8U soccer.
Another three-point basket. This time from Klinger.
And that's it. The Senators like to shoot the three, and you have to guard that.
Little hole in the press there. Getting out Menard. She tries to answer with a three. Hits the front of the rim, but back underneath for the offensive rebound. And put up is no good. Coming back down in Whitcomb. Klinger. Looking for the nice cut there from Jackson. Dishing it back out for three, and this one rattles home for Graff.
J.C. Jackson, a great job assisting on those last 2 3-pointers. And when she passes the ball, one of the things that you really don't perhaps notice to the casual eye is that these are crisp passes in the shot pocket for these shooters to catch and shoot from. It's one thing to find the open person and get the ball to them, but it's another thing to get it into their shot pocket so they can shoot it with rhythm and confidence and find the bottom of the net.
That is one of the things I don't think – the three of us have all coached basketball at some level. I don't think you don't even think about practicing that, putting it in the right spot in a lot of ways.
Oh, triple threat position, baby.
Yeah.
That's what you need to get into.
What it is that
okay, maybe I don't coach that, I guess.
It's just one of those things where, each coach, it's not – what do they say, right? It's not what it is that you it's not what you practice, it's what you emphasize almost, right? And it's one of those things where some coaches have a huge emphasis on passing and, passing with the right hand to the right side of the floor, right? And passing with the left hand to the left side of the floor. But you're right, though, Bradner, in the sense that, it's hard to practice that because, each shooter kind of has their own shot pocket, so it's a lot of familiarity in passing them. But typically you want to have a high shot pocket. But nonetheless, it's working for, Washington for the Senators in this one, as they've made 4 threes to start the game.
The foul, by the way, was on Josie Whitcomb. That's the first for the Senators.
And I think you'll see that during this tournament of the passing skills being the better teams, finding that open spot. You saw that in the first game in transition.
Well, because the first thing right out of the bat when this game started was, kind of the movement and the scrappiness and the getting into those passing lanes right off the bat was what Boone Grove was doing.
Exactly, yes.
And they they haven't been doing it as much lately here in these last 4 minutes, or in these last few minutes, but right off the bat, I'm thinking, this is looking like South Central in game 1 that we saw already, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, repeat here.
Well, that's the wind kind of got knocked out of the Wolves' sail there with those three-pointers. That's good ball movement there as
right
Campbell's getting on the board.
Yeah, the Senators able to break the press there and get a basket, but really they were able to do so because Boone Grove, when they were trapping, they didn't trap like how you're supposed to, quote-unquote, textbook trap, meaning that each defender, they weren't kind of combined. They weren't conjoined by the foot or by, they weren't close enough together. They weren't, as big as they could be, big and wide, kind of as Bradner mentioned in the previous broadcast earlier tonight. So they are not able to do that, and it's those little things that allow, the team to break that press.
Really nice cut and a nice pass. That was a nice pass from Menard, as Dewar was gliding towards the basket. Wasn't able to get the shot down, but she was able to draw the foul, and the foul is going to be on J.C. Jackson. So Dewar will go to the line. She knocks down the first. Yeah, I think the momentum and the wind came out of the sails, as you mentioned earlier, for Boone Grove with a lot of those threes. It was 4 in a row pretty much right off the bat.
But it is a game of momentum. You get a couple of stops, score a couple of buckets, and you're right back in this thing. But you have to close out on Washington.
That's what, Mike, you were talking about in our previous broadcast as we intercept there for Boone Grove, getting into those passing lanes, feeds down to Dewar, right on the left block and putting it home, Lauren Jeffries.
Great break there by Boone Grove. Way to run it in transition. Way to all get down the floor and look up and make those passes and basket.
What a move by Klinger, early candidate for our proud Union Home play of the game. And what I was going to mention earlier, Mike, is you were talking about how in the previous broadcast about forcing the outside shooters to shoot. Now you actually want to close out on those outside shooters and leave the middle kind of open. So if someone cuts, you can kind of forgive that a little bit. You just got to make sure you're there and help.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things, too, is that being able to close out on shooters, it's how you do it, too. You know, oftentimes I like to say, you know, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? Coach, I was closing out. That's great. That's what you were doing, but it's how you were doing it, right? And being able to chop your feet, get it touch, and force those shooters to become dribblers is how you really want to close out on this team, especially like Washington Township, because if you don't give that closeout and you don't get that touch to make them put the ball on the deck, they're going to just shot fake and pass it right out of there, and this team has shown you that they can pass it crisply, cleanly, and accurately almost all of the time.
Great explanation on your end there. Driving inside, trying to put the teardrop, can't drop it. Now coming back down in transition. Menard with a jumper, no good. Rebound coming down to Washington Township. This one blocked up top. Nice move.
Yeah, if you're J.C. Menard in transition, I don't know if you want to stop on a dime and try to hit a mid-range pull-up when you have the much smaller defender there waiting for you on the block. I mean, as you can see, she just blocked just did a tremendous shot block on the other end there, right? You know, and utilizing all of her frame is what you probably want to see as opposed to her settling for that jump shot.
Great movement by Gracie Little, who was able to block that. Now dumping that off for another three-point attempt. It almost goes down, but man, oh man, Graff got whacked on her three-point attempt. Almost knocked into the Boone Grove bench.
Yeah, and on that closeout, it was a late lunging closeout where, you know, when you perform a lunge, you put one leg, you know, far forward than your base, your other leg, right? And you kind of just lunge out there, but that's not what you want to see. What you actually want to see is a sprint coming down to many little choppy steps.
Chop the steps at the end and either go to their feet or put your hand up.
Yeah, because of that lunge right there, you're not able to control yourself, and there she is following a three-point shooter.
Yep.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
It's going to be our new motto at the Region Sports Network. We'll get a little plaque with your picture there, and we'll have the words right underneath it. Gracie Little getting back in there defensively, trying for the steal. This one picked off Sarah Bobie. And now Boone Grove trying to go on the high-low. Menard giving it up. She had the right idea, but again, it's...
You know what it is, though, is that when you get the ball on the block like that and you're one-on-one, Menard pulls up for three here, back iron, no good.
What an opportunity for Jeffries underneath. Wow, I mean, she really just stuck her arm out over that and grabbed
it was
that.
Fingertips and just enough to get it back over to Zakis.
Yeah, but what Jason Menard, back to her, is that whenever you catch the ball on the block and you're one-on-one and you're 6'2", you either got to score or get to the free throw line. And I understand that, you know, yeah, you want to pass that out. But at that point, though, it's not like you're making that pass to a three-point shooter. It's not like you're even making that pass to the elbow. You're making that pass from the block to maybe 3 feet next to you, and that defender is now able to guard both of you because it's not a great enough distance. So not sure, you know, as to why she's, you know, playing in that setting. But she's got to have to be a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion, if she wants to make a better impact.
Getting right underneath. They're going to call the offensive foul there. It's going to be against Jeffries. That's going to be her second.
Yeah, it was a good box out.
And that's one of the things, you know, when we try to teach or players boxing out, obviously you want to get a low center of gravity, and you actually want to stick your backside out a little bit, so that way it forces the other person to kind of come over the top. That's where they kind of came up with the idea of over the back. It's actually not a foul to go technically like reaching to an extent. It's the body contact that they're looking at there. This one swung out to Gracie Little for three. It rattles around. Rebound comes down to the Senators, going for a three ball. A second offensive rebound, this time for Bobby. She gets the bucket, and she'll go to the line for a three-point play.
Yeah, Sarah Bobby, since checking into this one, has done an outstanding job of controlling the paint and doing an excellent job of getting second and third chance opportunities due to her offensive rebounding.
Yeah, she has 2 rebounds already and putting up them 2 points, extending that Senator lead. Make that 3 points as she knocks down that free throw.
Final minute of this opening quarter. This one trying to feed it down to Menard. She can't grab it. Just kind of watch. She seems frustrated for sure. Some of those passes have just kind of gone right through her fingertips a little bit. And I can see the frustration growing, and that's just something where we talked about. You have to be able to kind of keep that emotion in check and realize, hey, next possession, let's get a stop here. Then I'll come down and get a bucket.
Yep, it's that mental reset. And the stronger of a player that you are, the better mental toughness that you have when mistakes go there, and they don't go your way.
Washington Township willing to settle here the final 20 seconds of the opening quarter. They're looking for just kind of an open shot, or at least get the last shot of this first quarter. Up 14. Little swings it into the corner. Driving up, putting up a floater. It's no good. Rebound taken by Boone Grove, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end. We'll step aside. You're watching Game Night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Morris Motor Services in Wanata is proud to be the premier logistics company in Northwest Indiana. Hauling aggregate in the tri-state area, they proudly serve their clients with timely and efficient service. And with their own fleet of modern trucks, Morris Motor Services is able to have vehicles always ready when you are. Centrally located to all major highways in the area, Morris Motor Services is also within 40 miles of every stone and slag yard in the area. For more info, visit mmsitrucking.com or call 219-733-9430.
Welcome back as Morris Motor Service in Wanata presents RSN Game Night coverage of the 2023 Porter County Conference Basketball Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network. Representing RSN is our broadcast crew tonight. Alongside me is Matt Welsen and Michael Bradner, and Nathan Laird is having a ball in production right now.
He put himself in the worst possible spot to be right in between.
I made him switch chairs for a reason.
All right, Boone Grove starts
so
it
I
up
could
here.
see the floor.
Fair enough. Long-range shot put up, no good. And it's bobbling around, and we'll see a foul here on the floor.
Yeah, it's good position by Zakis. He had 3 Senators surrounding her, and she's able to get that possession back. That foul's going to be on Addie Graff. It'll be her first.
Team's 6th already, so they're going to put Boone Grove in the bonus next time around as Menard gets her first bucket. Little driving with the right hand to the right. Able to pass that one back out. Addie Graff had the hot hand in that first quarter. A couple of triples, along with 2 of 3 at the free throw line. Graff dribbling with the left hand that time. Swinging it out. Little thinks better of that three-point attempt. Graff with the jumper, and it's good.
That's what Miss Graff does very well, is selecting her shot. She can attack the basket, but she can also just take a nice 15-foot jumper.
Menard in the corner. Hits the front of the iron.
Just missed that one.
And just saving it. Inbounds was Klinger there. She's very close to that out-of-bounds line. Little goes for the jumper. Rebound comes down to Boone Grove. That was Zakis.
Her 4th rebound of the game.
Boone Grove doing a good job of passing out of that double team in the last possession. We'll see how they move the ball around here as they get it to Menard for an easy jumper.
So the ball movement has been fairly impressive for both teams in this one. Talked about both teams are on a winning streak coming into this tournament. Whitcomb passes out. Klinger. Gonna wait to draw something up here.
Great play recognition and hands there to get into there and get the steal.
Menard able to save that one after Jeffries was able to save. This one tipped out. Little with the steal. Little can't control it. It goes out of bounds. And it'll be Wolves basketball here with 5:42 left to go in the half. Make sure you stay with us for the Homeland Farm halftime report.
Yeah, do a good job of recognizing that backdoor play. Getting the steal, getting the ball up the court. Boone Grove's going to need a few more. Oh, and not paying attention there is.
And that was not a pass that Dewar was looking for there. What a steal from Zakis. This one passed up. It's free in the air. Passing down now. Gliding, putting one up. It does not fall, but a foul is called. Foul is going to be on Jeffries, her first.
Yep, Lauren Jeffries.
First one is down. Graf at the line. She's 3 of 4. And 4 of 5. On the night. Not too shabby. Get things going here.
Has 12 points for Washington Township.
Again, we're seeing Washington Township double in the corner. But due to the quick ball reversal, unable to get a trap there, and they find Menard in the center of the floor for the basket.
So if the Wolves can start doing have this ball movement, and then Menard able to find at the rim or at the block, right down there, pass back out now for 3. Really good look, just off the mark. But another offensive rebound. Jeffries comes up with it. Dewar feeding down to Menard in the post on the block, spins, fires, knocks it down.
Great move.
Having a heck of a second quarter. 8 points for J.C. Menard.
And it's down to a 10-point game right now. They can get another stop here as Addie Graf can't control that pass very well. She is able to corral it after a minute. Passing right inside the lane, going up, can't get it to drop. But Klinger was trying to make a move. It was a nice pass as she's gliding to the basket, just got fouled enough. They always say if you're gonna take a foul at somebody, make sure the bucket doesn't go, or the ball doesn't go in the bucket.
Yeah, great job from Washington Township of trying to find something at the rim. Their last couple shots from outside they've missed. And, as we always talk about in basketball, is that regression to the mean, that water always finds its level. After making 4 threes in a row in the first quarter, you can't possibly anticipate that they're going to make every single three
It's going to keep coming
in the game. So being able to get opportunities like that at the rim and get into the charity stripe is ideal for the Senators in this juncture of the game.
That's what Boone Grove's doing a very good job controlling defensive boards with Sakis.
Graf on the left side, uncontested, and scores. She's having herself a great first half.
So it's back to that 14-point lead. We'll see what Boone Grove does here to try to trim this deficit. Got to take care of the basketball, though.
Mike, you've always had an ideal of with the number 7. If you want to go a little detail about your runs of 7.
Yeah, sure. So in many coaching circles, we talk about how basketball is a game of sevens. Al Rhodes at Penn, he's a big rule of sevens coach, but essentially boils down like this. Basketball is a game of sevens. When you have a 7-point lead, your now goal is to extend that lead to 14. When you get to 14, you want to extend it to 21. It kind of chunks the game. On the flip side, if you're Boone Grove, down 7, you want to get that lead to 0. You want to tie the game up when you're down 7. If you're down 14, you want to get it down to 7. And it's usually 3 stops and 3 scores. It really eats away at 7 points pretty quickly.
That's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of how this game is feeling as Graf goes up and gets the and one.
Yeah, it feels like that, Boone Grove, it's, they get to a point where, okay, they get it down to 7 points, or they trim it, and then it goes back to a 14-point lead. And now they find themselves, fighting and crawling to get back to 7 so then they can hopefully get back to even, right? And, it's one of those things where, if you're Washington Township, you understand that as well, because once you get to 21, that's typically like a kill shot. Statistically speaking, when you're down 21 points in a game, you really, it's very unlikely statistically for you to come back.
Because after a really nice run from Boone Grove here, and all of a sudden Washington Township's on the nice run, the lead continues to grow. We'll have a foul here. This will be against, I believe it'll be against J.C. Jackson. If
that'll be her third, I believe.
That's going to be huge here for the rest of this half, and likely going into the third quarter. And she does come out.
Menard having a seat. She had 10 points so far this second quarter.
So Jeffries here shooting the free throws. Knocks down the first. Stay with us after the game as we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Can't connect on the second free throw. So Washington Township comes back down. Little with it, drives to the left, kicks out. Little pulls the trigger, rattles around, doesn't go. Offensive rebound, another offensive rebound, and this time a foul. Couldn't connect on the layups. Campbell was trying to go up.
Yeah, Campbell was in great position, just missed that first one and hit it just enough to get right back to her for a second offensive rebound.
Campbell, she sees the floor so well, and she moves so well off the ball, and it's so impressive to see from a freshman. When you see freshmen that play up at varsity, what a lot of times is that they have, a great scoring potential, or they can handle the ball very well, and they have those skills. But it's very impressive to see a freshman that sees the game as well as she does. Because when you get to this varsity level, the game is so much faster.
Right, and it's her post presence and defense that's really getting her in there. I mean, rebounds and.
Yeah, and then even at the offensive end too, like right there, getting to the block, running the transition lanes and getting an opportunity to score, going from one block to the other, right?
Right.
She's just, a tremendous talent, and wonderful to see her blossom in this tournament so far.
But you were talking earlier about, having to close those out on doubles there. They kind of just sandwiched her there. She was able to step through and still get to the other block for the score on that last possession. But had they closed out and blocked on the double the way that you're supposed to, she likely doesn't score on that possession. You probably get a strip and steal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, too, is like, what goes hand in hand with seeing the floor well is also understanding where the rim is, right? And I know that sounds like, well, yeah, the rim never moves,
no, but
right?
it does move on you.
Yeah, but at this speed of the game, when you're at a varsity level and you find yourself at certain points on the floor, you almost kind of, are disoriented and you lose a sense of where the rim is. But she is so calm and she is so poised that she always knows where the rim is. She always sees the floor well, and so she's able to take her time and almost going through slow motion, getting those step throughs and, getting it to the basket and finishing.
I am convinced the basket does move because whenever I shoot, it never goes in, so it moves. Knocking down both. Josie Whitcomb That officially gives every starter at least a couple of points in this one. She was the only starter to not have scored until those free throws. Trying to feed on the high-low. Jeffries has had to really work hard. As Jeffries scores there, but Lauren Jeffries has had to really work hard. A lot of those passes she's been looking for on the inside or at the baseline are so high up for her that she's really having to extend herself, and that kind of puts her in a vulnerable position because when she comes down, she doesn't have much to do because someone's right there.
The defense is right there, and she can't really do much with it.
So that's what we talked about, putting it into those shooting pockets. Those are not, she's not in a position to where she can be a shooter by collecting that.
Absolutely correct.
See a double hit dribble here.
Yeah, so that's back-to-back unforced turnovers for these teams. And we'll see with it a 17-point game here with less than a minute to go in the half. We'll see if Boone Grove is able to get a stop and a score here, or if Washington Township is able to hold on for the last basket here.
Dishing it out, Klinger for three. It's short. Klinger able to get it after the rebound. Boone Grove picks it up here. Jeffries gives off to Menard. Menard feeding inside. And we'll see a travel. This is going to be against Schreiner.
Yep. She needed to just take one dribble there and go up strong to the hoop, and she would have had herself a layup.
Schreiner's also playing with 2 fouls, by the way. .14 seconds to go here in the half. We'll have the Homeland Farm halftime report for you in just a moment. And we'll have the cheer blocks for you as well. Whitcomb, there's a lot of defense interface. Long range three off the mark. 37-20 is your halftime score. We'll step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night in the PCC and the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Life is about connecting. At Nitco, we're here to connect you. Our knowledgeable, helpful, and friendly customer service representatives are ready to help. Whether it's the internet, phone, or TV, Nitco can provide you with great, reliable service. And now, Nitco is helping their customers through the Affordable Connectivity Program. This program offers up to $30 off your internet bill for families that meet the eligibility requirements. Give us a call at 219-996-2981 to see if you qualify. Nitco, always here, always caring, always better.
Welcome back to Game Night in the PCC and the Region Sports Network. We tune you in now to the Boone Grove cheer section. Really nice job by the Boone Grove. And we're going to go to a quick timeout here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Start or advance your career at T&B Tube Company. At T&B, employees are more than just a number. They are a valuable part of the success of T&B Tube Company and make an impact every day. Located just a short drive away from Chicago, T&B Tube Company offers benefits such as tuition reimbursement and a community-like work atmosphere. To learn more about joining the growing team at T&B Tube Company, visit tbtube.com/careers. For most people, buying or selling a home is the largest financial transaction they will make, which is why you need someone that you can count on and trust. Jody Geisha is a Northwest Indiana native and your neighbor in Morgan Township. Jody epitomizes integrity, energy, hard work, and creative service in every detail of your real estate transaction. A top producing agent in Northwest Indiana, her love for helping people shines through. Offering unparalleled customer service, vast industry knowledge, innovative marketing, and sharp negotiating skills, she has quickly become a top choice in the region. Whether buying or selling, Jody will always have your best interest at heart and will make sure to protect your investment. Give Jody a call to make your real estate goals a reality.
For over 75 years, the Paul Hearing name has been synonymous with auto sales. But wait, did you know that Paul Hearing has a top-notch body shop? Your car doesn't have to be a Ford. Paul Hearing repairs all makes and models and works with most insurance. At the Paul Hearing Body Shop, there are no backlogs, meaning they can get you in and back on the road again fast. And now Paul Hearing wants to give you a $100 gift card just for having your vehicle repaired. Call Paul Hearing at 219-942-2143 to schedule your body shop estimate.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Morris Motor Services in Wanata is proud to be the premier logistics company in Northwest Indiana. Hauling aggregate in the tri-state area, they proudly serve their clients with timely and efficient service. And with their own fleet of modern trucks, Morris Motor Services is able to have vehicles always ready when you are. Centrally located to all major highways in the area, Morris Motor Services is also within 40 miles of every stone and slag yard in the area. For more info, visit mmsitrucking.com or call 219-733-9430.
Welcome back to game night here in the PCC on the Region Sports Network. Now we'll have the Washington Township Senator cheer team. Very energetic, very good by the cheer team here for Washington Township. You may have seen just before we went to the last commercial break, one of the cheerleaders for Boone Grove had gone down. It didn't look like she lost consciousness or anything. She was able to get up under her own power and got a nice ovation. So we're not going to speculate on what happened, but seems to be doing okay. She was able to get up and go sit down in the bleachers, but just a little bit of a tense moment, especially after everything that's happened in the world of sports the last number of weeks. So you hold your breath a little bit longer in those things, but we're getting ready to start the second half in just a few moments here between Boone Grove and Washington Township on the girls' side of this PCC girls basketball tournament. As we've mentioned, one of the best weeks out of the entire year, especially with this conference. It's always a good time. And Matt, you've been a part of this for so many years. Obviously, there's cheer competitions. The student sections will get roaring. Really started on Wednesday, and we'll see those come to a head on Saturday as well. But man, just a fun atmosphere in this PCC tournament. There's nothing like it.
Yes, it is. I mean, this evening, just starting off with these quarterfinals. I mean, you'd had some decent crowd size and a solid game by South Central in the first half and in the first broadcast, and then now with Washington Township having a 17-point lead in this game, seeing them on Friday night, that could be a pretty good game. But there's still a half of basketball that the Boone Grove Wolves want to play and might want to get back into.
Well, one of those things that I wanted you to talk about those runs of 7, because it feels like this game might have that potential for runs, maybe not of 7, but of runs in general, Mike.
Yeah, so it certainly has the potential to do so, and I think that we're even more likely to see it now in the second half than we ever have in this game. One thing to note is that Boone Grove has started applying some pressure in the half court, as well as Washington Township, getting those traps and things like that. And with the score being what it is, being down 17, I would not be surprised at all. In fact, I would expect Boone Grove to play with a whole lot more pressure. And if they're able to get the ball in transition, they've shown that they're able to score. A decent amount of their 20 points has came from being able to get the ball in transition, getting up the floor. And, I'm curious to see how J.C. Menard plays in this second half in terms of what her emphasis is. Is she going to, shoot more jump shots as we've kind of seen her do in the first half, or is she going to really try to get to the basket? And, we'll only find out here in the second half.
And that's how she got her 10 points, was just a variety of those, but it's when she's attacking the basket is when she has that good look, and then can get into the stat column for assists when she can find her open teammates. They need to get some energy moving here and getting a stop, I believe. First, because it'll be Washington Township ball starting this third quarter.
Yeah. Real quick, Matt, who do you want to see for Washington Township kind of step up, other than Addie Graff? Who do you want to see step up and make a difference for them to continue this lead?
I will tell you, Brooklyn Campbell right now is having a very nice half. She has 5 points, 5 rebounds, and she's been a big difference maker in that second quarter, extending the Lady Senators' lead. So Brooklyn Campbell.
Mike, for you, who do you want to see from Boone Grove?
In Boone Grove, I want to see Chase Dewar do a little bit more. I know on the defensive end, she's done a solid job, but I think really, being able to continue to facilitate is going to be really hard to do, because I think Washington Township is going to key in on pressuring the backcourt of the Boone Grove Wolves. So we'll see how she handles that pressure. And, I expect her hopefully to step up in this one if Boone Grove is going to have a chance.
All right, that has been your Homeland Farm halftime report. Start of the second half here for Morgan Township High School. Again, Morgan Township hosting all the games here on the girls' side of the tournament, except for the championship. That'll be over at Hebron, who's hosting the boys' tournament, and then both championship games. Good fight here and a good stop for Boone Grove. Good way to get things started. Menard takes it first, bringing it up the floor, looking to her right, finds Jeffries. Gets it blocked as she was looking for the block, but had it picked out of the air a little bit. Menard gives into the corner again. Jeffries with the shot and the bucket.
That's what you need to do, is have no fear on shooting that trigger there, and they pulled it. She got 2 points.
Yeah, Boone Grove able to get a paint touch there. Is Menard able to get into the paint and then be able to kick out for the open three? She also had an open look to her left side as well. So, that's going to be critical for the Wolves if they can penetrate.
I had Graff, and Matt, you can correct me. I had her for 17 in the first half.
I did too. That puts her at 19 right now.
It's maybe the first time we've ever been in sync on that.
Usually I'm the one that off.
No, I think you're right. I think I'm the one always. Turnover here, so this will give an opportunity again for the Senators. If you're Boone Grove, you really, from this point on, you have to play errorless basketball. You really can't afford to make any mistakes, and if you do make a mistake, you need it to not manifest in anything big. You know what I mean? Like you have to play error-free basketball at this point.
Right. If they miss a shot, you're needing to stop at their offensive end and missing a shot.
Long-range shot, no good. Graff fighting for the rebound. It goes out of bounds, or it does not go out of bounds. Now it does. And they're going to say it's out of bounds off of Zakit.
No, they
did call it out of bounds off of
He was
Senators.
calling that off of Graff just before that, so.
Mr. Rohde with that call. Is Dewar with it now. Menard going for three. Hits the front of the rim. The rebound comes down, though. And really a bailout call there in a sense because, kind of just getting to go for two in essence.
Yeah, and I think part of it is this idea of the sense of urgency that kind of creeps in, once you get into the second half and you're down 17 points. But, credit to Dewar for getting the offensive rebound and then finding herself at the free throw line, making the first of her two attempts. Menard able to step into a 3, too. That's a good look.
Yes, it is. Not a bad shot at all.
So a good offensive possession here for the Wolves, even though they split the pair.
Dewar with 3 points, all coming from the charity stripe. Graff gives it up to Klinger. We've seen Klinger try to go long range tonight from beyond the arc. Whitcomb. Graff in the paint. Oh, nice feed down to Campbell, as you were looking for, Matt. Campbell to step up, but that one got swatted out of her hands.
Yeah, that's one thing with Campbell, though. She's down the floor, getting to her spot, heads up, ready to play defense. So playing like a goldfish and not letting that play affect her.
We were mentioning earlier about it was almost looking kind of easy from Menard. You kind of feed it to her in the paint or in the post, and then she turns and just gets the right. She had a nice run of buckets in the paint, and all of a sudden she's getting triple teamed down there.
Yeah, that's the adjustment there, but that's what started off that third quarter, guarding Menard, and then her just passing back out to Lauren Jeffries for two, or Drew Jeffries, I think, knocked that shot down. So that's how she can help get her teammates involved. She steps up with a steal there.
She goes for the pass, and Jeffries able to save it. Jeffries picks it up. Lauren Jeffries kind of just throws one.
Yeah, that was a heck of a skip pass, but ends up with Menard.
And she very, very lucky there. But luck eventually runs out as they actually end up turning the ball over after a series of bad passes.
Graff hits the back iron. Campbell comes down with the rebound. Here Jackson has it smacked out of the air.
That's Campbell's 5th offensive rebound for the Senators.
Back to the other end of the floor for a second. They were trying to feed it into the post, but the problem is Jeffries was on the other block.
Yes.
They were trying to feed it into the right block. She was on the left block, so you have to pay attention to where your person is. And when you're in the moment, as Jeffries knocks that one out, but when you're in the moment, it is hard to 100% look at.
You're looking for somebody, and they're not there, and you're like, oh, still trying to pass.
Normally, they're always there.
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right, and especially in a game here with it being what it is, and kind of going back to that idea of that sense of urgency. It's all about being able to play calm and poised, and being able to just get to your spots in order to be successful.
Klinger going long range, too strong.
That's a good shot for Klinger. She sees that they went underneath the screen there, and she has an opportunity to fire from deep, and she will take that opportunity every time it arises.
Dewar just stealing that one and then had it poked away from her. Graff is going to get called. Is she going to get a foul call? No, they just call it out of bounds, I believe.
Ball out of bounds.
I think there's an argument that maybe got the hand a little bit, but it's Menard with the jumper, rattles around, doesn't go. Rebound comes down to Campbell. Actually got it off of the back of Zakis, and we'll have a walk.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You know, Dior has found herself on the unfortunate end of the whistle, but finds herself on the fortunate end that time. So we'll see if they can make the most of it here as she brings the ball up the court.
And she's playing well for a freshman as well. I mean, coming in here and she's learning how to run an offense and play defense, getting into the passing lane. She has a couple of steals here.
Klinger rattles it down for 3.
Klinger finding her second three-point shot.
She's in double figure scoring now.
Yeah, this Boone Grove offense just unable to get anything going here in the second half.
Jeffries trying for the shot, no good. Rebound comes down, and a foul because Zegas was trying to put it up, but she gets fouled, so she will go to the line for the first time today. She's still looking to get into the scoring column.
Fouls on Grace Little, her first. Second on the Senators.
Schreiner checking in for Dorr, and this one, so Dorr's going to take a seat. But yeah, Matt, you're right. Dorr has played pretty well for a freshman, all things considered, you know, especially on defense. You know, she's been very active. But like you said, learning how to run an offense against a very talented defensive team in the Senators is a tall task for anyone, let alone a freshman.
Yes, it is.
Graff on the drive. What a feed down to Campbell. Menard dishes it out. Into the corner, now feeding inside. Jeffries, I'm sorry, excuse me, that was Schreiner. And another foul would be called.
Yeah, just spacing is something they got to figure out there. You know, as you see, Zakis took too many steps towards the basket, found herself in the lane right next to Schreiner. And, you know, when you're trying to reverse the ball and, you know, you're not giving her an opportunity to operate in there. So they have to be able to space the ball with her, and they have to be able to pass the ball, you know, crisply and more accurately.
Yeah, that confidence wasn't quite there when you're passing on that perimeter, and that's what needs to happen is make sure that you are looking toward the basket and not playing backwards to the half-court line.
That's a really nice play set up for Boone Grove. Down to Lauren Jeffries, her first points of the second half.
Yeah, Drew Jeffries, great job of driving, you know, up the floor and then getting to the right side to make that pass to her left. You know, again, spacing is very key, you know, all throughout the game. And especially there, it shows that it's, you know, a positive thing if you're able to do it.
Feeding down to Menard. She spins and has it taken out of her hands. But you see 3 defenders all around her. They just close. Yes. When she gets it in the paint, they just surround her and smother her.
Yeah, they're definitely honing in on Menard there. Menard, you know, good move, but like you said, you know, when you have so many defenders there to meet you at the ball, as soon as you make that one move, that drop step, you know, there's a defender right there all over you. And so she's able to get to the free throw line because of it.
So that's where somebody needs to be straight behind her beyond the three-pointer so she can kick it back out, which would allow for a three-point opportunity if you're confident in shooting that, or at least to keep the ball movement going.
Yeah, and that's, you know, getting into a window, right? And we see, you know, a lot of players that are able to do it and then some players that are still learning in order to do that. And when you don't space the floor well, you don't really give yourself an opportunity to get to a window.
Right. When you're not in your spot, it's hard for that player to find you.
Looking for somebody to cut. Menard here at the top. Off to the left. Jeffries with the jumper. And good. It's Drew Jeffries. She's in double figure scoring now. 2:05 to go here in the third. Shot attempt just short. Rebound comes down to Bunag.
A couple stops, couple scores is what you need here. If you can get this deficit to, you know, 14, maybe even 12 going into the fourth quarter, you actually give yourself a chance.
And that's another travel violation, so it gives Boone Grove an opportunity here. $1:46 left in the third.
Yeah, it's still 17 points if my math adds up.
Yeah, if you can go on a 7-0 run starting now.
That's a good start as Menard hits it from deep.
4 to go, and then you can get this to a 10-point ball game, and that'll be huge. And giving yourself an opportunity in the fourth quarter. Got to get a stop here.
And Graff drawing the contact.
Mike Z's crystal ball, seeing what we're going to be looking into.
One would hope that we can see a really good fourth quarter competitive game. You know, like you mentioned, guys, is that this Boone Grove team has found themselves kind of behind the 8 ball all game long in terms of the score, and it's being able to kind of get your opportunities and crack into it and give yourself something manageable to chew on in the fourth quarter.
I think that's the difference of the Boone Grove's first half of the season and second half of the season as well, as they're on a 5-game win streak coming into this game. So
timeout taken by Boone Grove. And we'll step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Co-Alliance is your local choice for total agronomy solutions, fuel, and seriously local propane. Our roots in the community go back to the 1920s, and if there's one thing we learned as a co-op, it's that when our customers succeed, we all succeed. When you're looking for a better choice in crop inputs, fuel for your fleet, heat for your home, or grain marketing solutions, choose the option that keeps your money in your community. Find out more about what Co-Alliance can offer at www.co-alliance.com.
Welcome back to Game Night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network. I'm going to let Mike read something.
Yeah, you're watching Game Night, the PCC on the Region Sports Network, in the 2023 Porter County Conference Basketball Tournament presented by Morris Motor Service, serving Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan. Visit mmsitrucking.com for more information.
Do it.
You're the man. Matt's a little bit better, but
no.
Hey, you know what?
I just do
we're
my
extending
job here.
We're going to extend the reads down to you next time.
Hey, comparison is the thief of all joy, my friends.
I think we just need to have a podcast with you just quoting things. I think that would be a #1 podcast of the world.
Just all one-liners.
Yes.
No real dialogue or context, just
it'll
all
be
one-liners.
3-second reads, and it'll be tremendous.
I feel like your classroom just has those all over the walls. Long-range shot knocked down for the Senators.
That was Little, her first 3 of the game.
That's a big basket. It really is. A minute to go in the third quarter. You extend the lead to 19 now. That's, you're getting to that point where it seems just so almost like insurmountable, right? And so that's a huge basket there.
Well, because it kind of felt as if Boone Grove kind of had a little chance of momentum starting to go their way, and the Senators and Little just said nope.
Yep, Menard hits the 3, but then credit to Washington Township. They get down on the other end, make both of their free throws, and then out of the break, boom, you just bang another 3 there, and that's just, it's a punch in the gut for sure.
First free throw is knocked down for Jeffries.
That's the 3-point game is the difference. They have 6 of them, so that's 18 points right there for Washington.
Yeah, that run at the very, very start of the game where they had like 4 triples in a row just to kind of open things up certainly kind of took the sails out of what felt like a lot of momentum for Boone Grove right off the bat. I mean, they came down and scored right off the bat. Off to Graff. She was able to keep. Kicks off to Klinger. Klinger gives up to Whitcomb. 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Whitcomb.
Good job of Boone Grove staying in front, not allowing those drives to get really anywhere near north-south to get into the paint.
Right, they're pushing them. They're doing a good job.
Graff able to move. Can't get the bucket to go as time will expire here in the third. You're watching Game Night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Morris Motor Services in Wanata is proud to be the premier logistics company in Northwest Indiana. Hauling aggregate in the tri-state area, they proudly serve their clients with timely and efficient service. And with their own fleet of modern trucks, Morris Motor Services is able to have vehicles always ready when you are. Centrally located to all major highways in the area, Morris Motor Services is also within 40 miles of every stone and slag yard in the area. For more info, visit mmsitrucking.com or call 219-733-9430.
Welcome back to game night here in the PCC, the 2023 PCC Tournament here on the Region Sports Network. Brought to you by Morris Motor Service. Michael Brenner, Mike Shamia, the mayor, Matt Welsand, along hand.
No votes. No one voted for that.
No one voted against you either.
There was a proclamation amongst those in the PCC conference that said, "You are the mayor." It was unanimous. It was kind of like a George Washington vote, like automatically just given the title.
Gotcha.
Graff with the basketball here to start this fourth quarter. Gets tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end of the floor, though.
That's how Dwar's been playing, though. Just pesky enough to get a hand on the ball and get it out of there. And she's had good defense so far. A couple of steals.
What a nice feed into Campbell just over the bodies of Boone Grove. Jeffries comes down with the rebound. Feeding down to Menard, who's able to corral it. Gives out. Dewar for two just inside the arc there. No good. Rebound comes down to Jackson, who is playing there with 3 fouls. But it's the fourth quarter, so you can live with those 3.
Oh, yeah.
If she picks up a fourth here early, then you start to worry. You don't have to worry, but
you play through it.
Graff running the baseline with a little reverse play. Hits the top of the basket. Not able to fall down. That would have been impressive if it did.
That was a very nice reverse.
Menard was open for 3. There you see the triple coverage on her. She goes for 3 this time. No good, but the rebound. This one thrown far, and this will be a stolen away by Klinger. Klinger goes up, gets fouled, no bucket.
That's just such a savvy heads-up play there.
Oh, yeah.
From Klinger, and that's what you come to expect. I know she's only a sophomore, but gosh, she plays like such an upperclassman. Speaking of upperclassmen, Menard kind of really missed an opportunity there to dump it down low into Zakis, who was wide open on that left block. And I understand that the score, you want to shoot threes, all that, but you need to get something on the board. You can't come away with empty possessions on the offensive end, down 17 with 6.5 to go.
Stay with us after the game as we will name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowell Company's proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. So 1 of 2 from the line there. Again, we got more games tomorrow here on the Region Sports Network on the girls' side of the tournament. We'll have Tri-Township taking on Westville. That'll tip off at 5:30 here at Morgan Township. We'll go on the air a little bit before that, 5:20-ish. And then Morgan Township will take on Couts in the second game of the doubleheader. Short on the first free throw attempt from Jeffries. Foul was on Campbell. That's her second, by the way. Knocking down the second.
And it's important to knock down the second one, too, because then you're able to get right into your press.
Yeah, Boone's coming right into it.
Little going to the window. She's got 5 here in the second half. Menard with a jumper. In and out, but the rebound comes down to Zakis, who's able to get her first points of the game. 5:45 to go in this one.
That's the energy that Boone Grove had with that press. They gave up that point, but then they come back and score. So
Campbell going up. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Whitcomb able to corral the rebound. Klinger trying to feed it down to Little, who waits for the defense to move and goes right to the window. A really nice play there for Little.
Yeah, great job to utilize that shot fake, too. She kind of throws the ball up over her head only for a moment to bring it back down and get it a nice shot right off the glass.
Going all the way to the window and getting the and one is Jeffries.
$14 points so far for Drew Jeffries this evening.
Klinger comes out.
Klinger went to go talk to the coach, and I believe Campbell is going to get some time on the bench.
And this will be Samantha Boonog in there, number 22. She normally wears 21, but the coach told me she accidentally grabbed the wrong jersey this evening.
As long as it's right in the book.
That's exactly what I said. That's all that matters. Little to the window. She's able to somewhat corral her rebound, but there is a foul on the floor. The last foul, by the way, was on Jackson, so that was her 4th.
Leon Dwyer, her 4th.
So that's 4 on Chase Dorr. Lauren Jeffries with the inbound here. Just under 5 minutes left to play in this one. Stay tuned for the Jody Geisha post-game show. We'll wrap up this one, hand out our awards for this game. Got that doubleheader tomorrow on the girls' side. Boys get started on Wednesday. We have a travel violation here against Boone Grove. So Wednesday we'll see, on the boys' side, we'll see Westville take on South Central, and then Washington Township will take on Hebron over at Hebron. Crowd will be raucous for their home team, I'm sure. And another walk by Whitcomb. Thursday you got Couts and Tri-Township. And then Morgan Township and Boone Grove.
Yeah, pretty good draw on the boys' side, spreading out the teams that have beaten each other, so should be a good one.
Trying to feed that one into Little, gives it off to Whitcomb. Her shot, no good. Drew Jeffries with the rebound, gets it over to Menard, brings it across the timeline, now into the paint from the right elbow. And there's going to be another walk. We've seen like 3 or 4 traveling violations in the last minute.
Yeah, and they've been some real killers, too, especially the last one by Washington Township. You know, again, bad spacing. This time comes in the form of the press. Is, you know, Washington Township, not this time, but, I mean they were able to break it this time easily, but even easier the last time. But, yeah, then again, a costly travel.
Klinger gets the front end of the basket, so this comes down to Menard now. Another travel. And this has been really, the 3 of them have been against Boone Grove here of the 4 that we've seen the last few moments. So,
yeah, they're just playing a step ahead, not need to
little 2 reactionary
to work on it. Yeah, work on, hey, you know what? I'm going to my right, got a dribble, go to the right.
Klinger thought about pulling it from long range out there.
Quick shot fake.
That would have been, this is going to be a kicked ball, so it'll stay here with South Central.
You know, Gracie Little's calling for the ball, but, you know, Klinger, I know we all thought kind of for a moment she was going to pull it, right? But at the same time, though, she looked to her right, And, Gracie Little's calling for the ball, but Gracie Little, you got to get yourself into an area where she can pass it.
Yes.
And it's one thing to, call for the ball, but you have to get the ball. You have to meet the pass a lot of times. So as she catches the inbound here.
There are so many times where I watch players that they call for the basketball, and yet they're running away from it. They want it as they're running away from it, and really they're not even moving towards the basket either.
Yeah.
Jeffries gets it and scores.
She's having a great game.
She is. 11 points in the second half alone, so give her 17 on the evening. Are we still in sync over there?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Throw in 4 rebounds and 2 steals. She's doing what she can to help Boone Grove's cause tonight.
So the foul is on Zakis. That's her second of the game. This will send Little to the line. Rattles around and doesn't fall home. Stay with us after the game as we will name the proud Union Home Play of the Game, brought to you by IKOR-CC. Mike, they are the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters.
That they are. And you can learn while you earn. Or earn while you learn. Either way.
That's Boilermakers Local 374.
Oh, yeah, that's
You
right,
can
that's
learn
right.
more at IKORCC.com.
You can learn more.
Either way, support your trades.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously. Volleyball 3. Klinger always hunting the 3 ball. Love to see it though, don't you?
The last time they played Boone Grove, she had 7 threes. So
yeah.
She definitely has that eye for it. Tonight, not so much. She's only knocked down a pair, but
ho hum.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's just one of those things when you're a 3-point shooter. You never find you're like open for a 3-point shooter there's a hand in your face.
Yes.
Right. So when you're at the volleyball line and you can see the rim clearly, she thinks it's that's an open shot, right? That's that shooter's mindset, I guess.
Shooter's got to shoot.
That's right. The more shots you take, the more shots you make.
I have been impressed with Gracie Little off the bench tonight for Washington Township. She's very, to do a little bit of a teaser for our awards, very blue-collar-esque.
She does have a blue collar, yes. She does a very good job coming in and giving a spark when needed.
Yeah, she's very active on both ends of the floor is what it is, and you can feel her presence, right? I mean, there's some players that you watch and you kind of almost forget that they're out there because they're not very involved in the action. But she's one of those players that's almost always near the ball on either side of the floor.
Yeah, she is very active on defense, getting her hands in those passing lanes, getting some steals, getting momentum ahead to maybe a streaking player down to the basket for sure. That's what you definitely need a scrappy player like that off the bench in a lot of ways, because if something's not working with the original 5, then you need someone to kind of come in and change momentum up a little bit potentially.
Yep, you need a good catalyst to spark some defense, creating some offense, and that is Gracie Little in a nutshell right there.
Jeffries. To Jeffries. This one's stolen away by Boonog. That is Nicole Boonog. We've also seen Samantha Boonog in there as well. We're in number 22. Actually, both of them are in there right now.
Got both Boonogs.
And we're going to have an offensive foul here against Washington Township. 16-point game with 1:48 to go. Stranger things have happened in the PCC world. foul, by the way, was on Gracie Little before. Menard, who's had a quiet second half.
Yeah, Washington Township's done a good job of containing her presence at the post, and then she hasn't been able to hit jumpers from the outside. But it did, every time she touched the ball in the paint, it was a triple team.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just, hey, we're going to help and see how things go. It was all hands on deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really keyed in on her, and she gets an opportunity here where she has the much smaller defender on her. And it's one of those things as a coach where if your player gets the ball on the block and there's only one person guarding them, you either expect them to score or get to the free throw line and score. And she does just that at the free throw line.
Knocks them both down. She had 10 points in the first half. She's got 5 here in the second half, that is. We see the press to try to get a steal and maybe a basket here to try to pull this one a little bit closer. Graf giving up to Little, who is just, as we mentioned, just always in the right place at the right time. She has been impressive.
Great job by Graf to maintain possession even after, you had that steal attempt there and have the composure to get all the way to the paint and then dish it off.
Matt, if you could help me out, I did not
Schreiner had her basket right there, 4th overall point of the game. Nice little turnaround jumper.
Little. And that foul will probably be on Jeffries here.
Yeah, it could have gone either way, really.
Really, because that arm,
hook.
Yeah, that arm kind of coming out from Little there, certainly warranting a little discussion there.
But that's the thing, though, is that if someone's playing physical like that with you and you go ahead with it, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, you can't just be moved by the defender. You can't, have them impose their will upon you. So
Jeffries with a long pass that is turned over. So about 45 seconds left to go here. Graf getting the inbound. And the reach in by Menard to stop the clock. And it'll send Graf to the line. She's having herself a really good night at the free throw line, I've noticed. Let's see.
7 for 8.
Yep. So that's someone who takes her free throws seriously. And we jinx her, Matt. She misses that one. Trying to go back up top with it, goes out of bounds. Goes out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Washington Township. So they will inbound underneath their own basket here with 37.1 on the timer. Feed is right underneath. Can't get it to go. That was Madeline Winship in there.
Yeah, Winship, the freshman, it's one of those things where you can see she's kind of like sighing a little bit that she had that opportunity to get a basket here and that she won't get a better look than that. However, that will be ingrained in her mind where when she finds herself on the block, being able to do that correctly the next time is going to be all about her development. So, you learn more from losing than you do winning, and an opportunity here where you pull away with a 14-point victory to learn something as well. That's a great night.
Yes, it is.
As Graf was gliding to the basket, she is fouled. That's going to be the second foul on Menard.
Yeah, Menard is going to make this game as long as possible.
Menard stops.
Have one.
Oh, we got a shot to the face there.
And they called it travel, too. Talk about insult to injury, right?
Yeah, I had a hand on that. She came back down, kind of went back into.
She gets hit with the turnover violation.
Gets poked in the eye.
Yeah, right.
Not good.
All with 2 seconds left in the game.
And that'll do it. 58-44, your final. We'll be back in just a moment with the totals and your award winner. Stay tuned. You're watching Game Night on the PCC on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For most people, buying or selling a home is the largest financial transaction they will make, which is why you need someone that you can count on and trust. Jody Geisha is a Northwest Indiana native and your neighbor in Morgan Township. Jody epitomizes integrity, energy, hard work, and creative service in every detail of your real estate transaction. A top producing agent in Northwest Indiana, her love for helping people shines through. Offering unparalleled customer service, vast industry knowledge, innovative marketing, and sharp negotiating skills, she has quickly become a top choice in the region. Whether buying or selling, Jody will always have your best interest at heart and will make sure to protect your investment. Give Jody a call to make your real estate goals a reality. Start or advance your career at T&B Tube Company. At T&B, employees are more than just a number. They are a valuable part of the success of T&B Tube Company and make an impact every day. Located just a short drive away from Chicago, T&B Tube Company offers benefits such as tuition reimbursement and a community-like work atmosphere. To learn more about joining the growing team at T&B Tube Company, visit tbtube.com/careers. Life is about connecting. At Nitco, we're here to connect you. Our knowledgeable, helpful, and friendly customer service representatives are ready to help. Whether it's the internet, phone, or TV, Nitco can provide you with great, reliable service. And now, Nitco is helping their customers through the Affordable Connectivity Program. This program offers up to $30 off your internet bill for families that meet the eligibility requirements. Give us a call at 219-996-2981 to see if you qualify. Nitco, always here, always caring, always better. Morris Motor Services in Wanata is proud to be the premier logistics company in Northwest Indiana. Hauling aggregate in the tri-state area, they proudly serve their clients with timely and efficient service. And with their own fleet of modern trucks, Morris Motor Services is able to have vehicles always ready when you are. Centrally located to all major highways in the area, Morris Motor Services is also within 40 miles of every stone and slag yard in the area. For more info, visit mmsitrucking.com or call 219-733-9430.
Welcome back as Morris Motor Service in Wanata presents RSN Game Night coverage of the 2023 Porter County Conference Basketball Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network. You are tuned in to the Jody Geisha post-game show right here on RSN, the Region Sports Network. Michael Brandner, the mayor, Matt Welsen, and the hair, Mike Jamia.
The crystal ball. I love how he just forecasts what needs to happen for these teams, and that's exactly what needs to.
I need him to do that when I go buy a lottery ticket.
Right?
That's what I need to do.
I need to start playing lottery, apparently. You guys think so highly of me.
I do.
I appreciate it.
Isn't there some kind of quote about having to respect yourself too? Don't you have one of those at the tip of the cap?
Yeah,
right at the top of the cuff right there.
Well, I'll say this.
Now we don't have time for that. It's time to name our Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Matt, what do you got?
Got to put the superhero cape on Addie Graff. She started the Washington Township offense and hitting a three right off the bat, and I believe she ended up with 21 points. So that's Addie Graff's superhero of the game.
Excellent choice. Now time to name our proud Union Home play of the game presented by IKORCC. Learn more at IKORCC.com.
4 consecutive threes made in the first quarter to get the scoring going for the Washington Township Senators. In this one, they were able to start well, finish well, and everything in between went pretty well for them.
It just really set the tone early on in this game, those 4 threes right off the bat. All right, time to look at our blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
I'm going to go with the lunch pail of blue-collar. For the Boone Grove Wolves, you have Drew Jeffries. She had 17 points, but she had 5 rebounds and 2 steals as well. She was all over the floor defensively, doing what she could to help her team's cause this evening.
Perfect candidate for that award. All right, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, coordinating producer, that Nathan Laird guy, he was also our game producer tonight as well. I believe we were error-free tonight. That doesn't happen very often.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
well, at least from my understanding.
I'm on the air, so that's at least one.
Your broadcast crew tonight, myself, Michael Brenner, along with Matt Welsen and Mike Jamia on video tonight, doing a great job. Zach Miller and Josh Lepowski doing phenomenal work down there on the court and up here in the broadcast perch as well. Big thanks to Jerry Mateer for helping us get set up for a wonderful broadcast and a wonderful hospitality room as well, taking care of everyone that loves a good hospitality room. So thanks to him, and a big thanks to Doug Godbolt and Michael Kozlet.
Jerry is a lady, yes.
I'll
introduce her.
Sorry.
I'll introduce her to you.
So much for mistake-free.
Yeah, there we go. I had to jinx it. There you go.
I
apologize. And then Kozlet, Boone Grove, and then Washington Township, Doug Godbolt for getting us set for stats and information, everything we need. And then, of course, you, the viewers, on regionsports.com and then Facebook and YouTube as well. Big thanks to you guys. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Stay tuned all week long. We will have plenty of action for this PCC tournament. A couple more games on the girls' side of the bracket, and the boys get started on Wednesday. We've got double headers all week long before a quadruple header on Saturday. Can't wait. We'll have it all for you right here on the Region Sports Network. And by the way, this has been Game Night in the PCC on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.